So I'm glad everyone got a chance to get a plate. I'm going to go ahead and introduce our first speaker, our dean, Elizabeth Coffman, and she's going to give our welcoming remarks. So let's all give her a warm welcome.
Thanks, Genevieve. And this whole event is happening because wonderful Genevieve has set everything up, gotten the food here, the speakers. So we can give Genevieve a hand for all she's done. Thank you, Genevieve. So, students, parents, alumni, veterans, faculty, and staff, thanks for being here. Greetings. This is a wonderful day. We are just still getting used to being back in person, back without masks, and celebrating in a room together. So, as I said earlier, I'm Elizabeth Coffman, Interim Dean of the School of Communication. That's SOC for short, right? We'll say that a few times. You know, a commencement. It's a beginning. To start. It's not the end of things. This is the time to move on, the time to get on with it. So we are celebrating this transition and the beginning of exciting new things for you. To get us started, can we have all of our graduates who are here today stand up? Great, you've made it, you're commencing. And now, could we have all parents and family or friend supporters, just raise your hand if you're here. Great, you all have paid for it, right? If not literally, then emotionally, and you've done something right to get and support your child or your friend for being here. So thanks for that support. And School of Communication faculty and staff, please raise your hands. You all have led this journey. You know, you've taught, you've advised, you've planned events, and we're all grateful. So a celebration, a commencement, a beginning, indeed. You all are in that class of students who you've spent a significant amount of college time online through the pandemic. That's stressful, right? It's lonely, can be overcrowded, depending on where you're living, dangerous, unknown, and deadly for a significant number of people. Not fear or danger in the same way that our commencement speaker today has experienced and written about so eloquently, but trauma and grief nevertheless. It's history. It's her story, it's their story, it's our story. Our SOC students and graduates are from fields that at first glance are fairly diverse. From advertising and public relations to advocacy and social change, from journalism to film and international media studies. Different, but they have a lot in common. Kind of like France and Morocco, if you're paying attention to the World Cup. As members of a Catholic Jesuit university, though, we understand that we have a number of important themes that we share. Faith, telling stories, and the physical and mental effort that undergird both activities, faith and storytelling. Devout Catholic writer Flannery O'Connor put it this way, and I quote, "Writing is like giving birth to a piano sideways. Anyone who perseveres is either talented or nuts." We have a lot of talented storytelling nuts in the SOC. We also have a lot of faith and a serious commitment to helping others. To remind us of that faith, I'd like to introduce Lauren Schwer, Associate Director of Spiritual Formation, who will lead us in an opening and reflective talks. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you so much for letting me add my congratulations to the graduates who are here today and also remote right now, and also for letting me be part of your celebration. I was just sharing earlier, this is my first time at a December commencement, and what a gift it is. There's not the same chaos and rushing, and you get exactly this minutes, and then you have to get out of here because the other parking lot is closing. The chaos isn't here. And our lives are still pretty chaotic. And so as we begin, I'm going to invite us to take a brief moment of quiet so that we can savor this moment and savor the amazing achievements of our graduates. In the book of Hebrews in the Christian scriptures, the author writes, "Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us." In this spirit, I invite the graduates to take their own moment of quiet as well, as they bring to mind their individual cloud of witnesses. Those loved ones that accompanied them on their journey as they have persevered in this race of acquiring this degree. Whether those people are physically present or with us in spirit, think of everyone that has encouraged you, that has supported you, that helped make your achievement possible. If you are a person of faith, I invite you to thank God for these people. And in all of our cases, I invite you to hold a brief moment of quiet with gratitude in our hearts. And so with our graduates and their clouds of witnesses, we bring our hearts and minds to the God of creation. Loving and gracious God, we give you thanks and praise for the community gathered here today. We ask that you bless our graduates as they celebrate their degree completion and as they embark on the next step of their unique lives. These graduates come from many different journeys in life and have many different stories to share. Grant each of them the courage to honor their stories in whatever path unfolds before them. Through grace and freedom, each graduate has gained knowledge and grown in understanding. We praise you for these gifts. Grant them hearts of wisdom, that as partners in the work of creation, justice, and peace, they might learn to use their knowledge for the good of all humanity. We give you thanks for the many individuals that made this day possible, especially the family, friends, significant others, pets, staff, mentors, faculty, and administrators. May their generosity root our graduates and continue your project of love in the world. Bless our time together. Let us savor the gifts that you are offering to us today. We ask these things through you, God who is love. Amen.
Thanks, Lauren. And now we're going to have our student address, our student speech. Robert Malkamaki, are you here? There you are. Come on up. We are excited to have you speak. Robert just had some great news this week. He got a fabulous job, and as program directors, everyone's very excited, so congratulations.
Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
Good morning. Faculty, staff, fellow graduates, everyone who's helped and everyone who has fostered these journeys today. If 18-year-old me could see myself today, he'd probably say it's about damn time you graduated. Now, I know I'm only graduating a semester late, but high school Robert would not have accepted that. He had everything planned out on the straight and narrow, with no room for breaks, mistakes, a change of plans, or even a global pandemic. And yet, college Robert is graduating today, late, intentionally. Now, I know COVID has instilled in us familiarity with flexibility and change, but it took an enormous effort for me to decide not to go to school for a semester. Online school simply wasn't working for me, and I wasn't happy with how that eternal semester went. Every paper, every Zoom class, every assignment was a chore and a struggle. But after some conversations and some contemplation, I decided to do it. It was one of the best decisions I've ever made. Not going to school in the spring of last year gave me the break that I needed even more than I had realized. So when I came back to Loyola last fall, I was actually excited for my classes, and it showed. I enjoyed all 5 of them: broadcast news writing with Sarah Daloff, media law with Frank Main, research methods with Michael Lamone, multimedia sports with Randy Minkoff, and my honors class. I got 4 A's and an A- that semester. I was back, and it felt so good to do that well after how the last couple semesters had gone. So that propelled me to do well in my capstone, newscasting and producing with Dr. Lee Hood, and in the almost notoriously challenging video storytelling with John Goheen. I want to thank you and all my professors here at the SOC for what they've done in my time here. I am proud of the work that I've done in the journalism program. I've learned a lot about how to tell stories using video and audio, but most importantly, I tell stories about people. So in order to do that, some of the most important learning I've done in college is about myself. And I guess that's how it should be. Now I'm graduating with my bachelor's degree in multimedia journalism. I've just finished interning at News Nation, and I'm very proud to announce today that I've been hired at News Nation full-time. Thank you. So after you hear my story today, I want to encourage all of you to take care of yourself first. That's what allowed me to be my best coming out of the pandemic. And you can't be your best as a student, a journalist, a filmmaker, a PR representative, a marketer, or a professor without taking care of yourself. I'm glad to see some professors who acknowledge this need and help students to better care for themselves, but we can always do better. Mental health needs are very real, and no one should ignore their own feelings like I tried to do. Always be honest with yourself and learn how to get in touch with your own emotions to build the awareness to know when something isn't right. I also understand that jobs in communication fields can often be draining and stressful. I think we all know that. And that makes self-care and that emotional self-awareness even more important for all of us. Do not ever be afraid to ask for or even take what you want. Take that vacation day, leave that toxic workplace, and make those moves that will make you both happy and successful. On the reverse side, it's important to know that everyone is on different paths and trajectories of life, which is why you should never compare your progress and achievements to someone else's. You are doing your best work, and as long as you're prepared and you're taking care of yourself, you will be able to handle that great opportunity when it's opened up to you. There's a lot of truth to the cliche that you can't pour from an empty cup. After you're able to take care of yourself, you'll be able to help those around you to care for themselves. Even something as small as asking your colleague how they're doing and taking the time to listen earnestly to what they have to say could make a huge difference in that person's day. When we all practice self-care, we lift each other up. you won't just be doing your best work, but you'll also be helping others to do their best work. I'll carry these lessons for the rest of my life. I'm also not going to forget where I learned them. Go Ramblers.
Wonderful, thank you so much. I think you can see why the teachers, the parents were all glowing and so proud today when we hear words like that. Thanks for your thoughtfulness. I'm going to introduce our wonderful faculty member and debate team coach. So David Romanelli.
Good afternoon, graduates. I'm here today to introduce our speaker, Major Thomas Schueman. He is currently the operations officer for the 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines. Tom is a 2008 graduate of the Loyola University of Chicago with degrees both in political science and communication. He holds a Master of Arts degree in English from Georgetown University, a Master of Arts degree in Defense and Strategy from the United States Naval War College, and he is an honorary member of the United States Naval Academy class of 2021. Tom's an impressive person. After leaving here in 2008, he reported to the 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines, where he served as a rifle platoon commander and company executive officer. He deployed to the Helmand Province, Afghanistan, in support of Operation Enduring Freedom, where he served with distinction and received multiple decorations and ribbons. Tom's here today because he exemplifies the Jesuit ideal of being a person for others. Upon coming home, he realized there was a need for returning Marines to have the space to reconnect with other veterans and process what they had experienced in combat. He established patrol base Abate in Montana, named after one of his fallen comrades, to help those who'd served and their families. But that's just one illustration of why Tom is a leader and why those who served with him hold him in the highest regard. He noted in an interview on Nightline, "I have a lifelong commitment to the people I serve and led." With that knowledge, when Tom was contacted by his former Afghani translator, Zach, who was looking for help escaping the Taliban and reaching the United States, Tom was there. Together, they co-wrote this incredible book that documents their story, Always Faithful. It's a journey of both of their lives and their commitment to the values they both share. Tom is an incredible writer, poet, teacher, husband, father, and Marine. It is my privilege to introduce our speaker today, Major Tom Schueman.
Today, it's a celebration of you, the graduates. Graduating from Loyola is a tremendous accomplishment. You should be proud of yourselves. I know the people in the audience are incredibly proud of you. How hard you work to earn this degree is something that only you and maybe some of the professors in attendance really know. Some of my professors are here, and based on how hard I worked during their courses, they're likely puzzled as to how the heck I ended up here today. 15 years ago, I was sitting where you are. I was slightly hungover, surrounded by friends and family. And 15 years later, though, a lot has changed. But I still have the same friends and family here supporting me. The university provided us with a world-class education, top-notch professors, and a beautiful campus to call home. But it's the friendships we make during our college years that have the most enduring impact. Which leads me to lesson number 1. Don't worry, there are only 5, and you don't have to take quizzes anymore. Maintaining these friendships that you've made will take work. You have to invest time and energy to sustain a friendship. Do it. It's worth it. As you head to grad school or begin your career, you'll experience highs and lows. But the angel Clarence tells us in the Christmas classic, It's a Wonderful Life, remember, no man is a failure who has friends. Lesson number 2, I hope you are significant, not successful. Now, I had a Marine I served with in Afghanistan back in 2010, Arden Benagwa. He enlisted right after high school, and he deployed soon after. The area we were fighting had minefields everywhere. Every time you put your foot down, you think, this might be my last step. Arden Benagwa was the guy who walked point, meaning we all patrolled in a single file line behind him. He swung a metal detector in an attempt to discover the buried explosives, but the Taliban mines didn't produce a metallic signature. Every Marine who walked point during that deployment was either killed or ended up as an amputee. Arden knew the outcome ahead of time, and this 19-year-old man still went anyways. Not many people will ever know his name, but for a brief moment, I had the humbling privilege of leading him. On November 24th, 2010, he walked point for the last time. 11 years after his death, I named my son after him. Arden was not successful by any of the traditional metrics of success like titles, wealth, or status. His profile wouldn't stand out on LinkedIn, but I can assure you, he was significant. He was a good friend, brother, and son, and accomplished more in his short life than most ever will. He gave his life so that others may live. Success comes and goes, but making a lifelong impact on someone is significant. Lesson number 3, I hope you serve something until it hurts. Service must come at a cost. Sacrifice is inherent to service. In order to serve, you must sacrifice the selfish self within. Only by extinguishing our self-centeredness can we begin to truly live. Rather than going out and conquer the world, we conquer ourselves and serve the world. As Dr. King once said, an individual has not begun to live until he can rise above the narrow horizons of his particular individualistic concerns to the broader concerns of all humanity. We're naturally compelled to inject ourselves into everything we see, hear, and encounter. We have the tendency to be at the center of our own universe. But I think understanding our relationship to things, people, and events in terms of a constellation or an ecosystem is more helpful. In order to maintain a thriving ecosystem, the self must be subsumed for a higher cause. When we consider others before ourselves, we create an opening for the formation of a community. When we become contributors over consumers, we add value to the constellation. Lose yourself in the service to others, and you'll gain a life well lived. Lesson number 4, I hope you are men and women of character. Any attempts to fulfill your purpose will be inextricably linked to your character. Excellence isn't something that just happens. It's a habit. Habitually treat others with dignity and the work you do with pride. It's easy to be excellent for a moment, but to be excellent for a lifetime will be one of your greatest challenges. When you look in the mirror each morning and each evening, have the courage to stare right down into your soul. The moral courage to do the right thing and make an honest self-assessment of where you stand in relation to what you value can be terrifying. For me, physical courage has always been easy. I can attack the enemy machine gun bunker. I can move towards the enemy's guns without hesitation. Yet I've not always had the moral courage to attack the areas within my soul that I knew to be deficient. Be very deliberate about who you want to be, what you want to represent, and what example you set. If there's a disparity between the virtues you espouse and the deeds you do, then you've lost the moral high ground. Hold fast to your integrity and refuse to compromise your honor. Your character is your fate, and you can't escape it. Lesson number 5. I hope you never give up. We've all been wounded, or will be. None of us make it through life unscathed. You'll be ambushed. There will be an illness, an unexpected loss, or heartbreak. I've been ambushed. I've been physically and morally wounded in combat. Outside of combat, I've had equally painful experiences that didn't involve any bombs or bullets. It's really important that we avoid a taxonomy of trauma, that we don't create some arbitrary hierarchy that values some people's experiences while marginalizing others. Each person's experiences are true and valid to that person. We all bear scars, and our scars tell a story. My story isn't of someone who should be pitied for having experienced hardship or of a hero. It's of someone who never gave up. We aren't thankful for the trauma or the tragedy. However, we are thankful for the lessons they teach us. After returning from war, I've never taken a sunrise or sunset for granted. So stay in the fight, keep moving, and never give up hope. When you leave here today, you will likely feel compelled to change the world, and I hope you do. We often think of the world in a universal meta sense. It's a place we see on social media. It's on maps. We read about it. The world is not something we passively observe or experience. It's the people right next to you. It's the people waiting to give you a hug after this graduation. It's the neighborhood where you live. It's the restaurants where you eat. It's the stores where you shop. 15 years ago, I was ready to change the world. I had not been to war. I had not experienced the pain of watching someone you love breathe their last breath. And as that breath expires, all their potential and dreams go with it. Conversely, 15 years ago, I wasn't a father to my daughter or my 2 sons. I wasn't a poet or an author. A lot will change in the next 15 years. But the friends and family here today will share some of life's best and worst moments with you. I'm so thankful for the education and the professors I had while I studied here. But mostly, I'm grateful for the friends I made who became family. Remember that no person is a failure who has friends, and that in a society that applauds success, be significant. In a culture that encourages you to be selfish, be selfless. You are what you habitually do, so in a world where you can be anything, be excellent. Finally, I want to remind you that the sun will rise, so keep the faith, never give up. Thank you, and Semper Fidelis.
Wonderful, Major Schueman. Thank you so much. Always Faithful, a wonderful book. If you haven't read it yet, I urge you to get a copy of it. Now to keep celebrating our students and our students with honors, I'm going to introduce Dr. Lee Hood, who is going to do a Lambda Pi induction for us. Thanks, Lee.
Thank you, Elizabeth. So my name is Lee Hood, and I have the privilege of serving as the faculty advisor for Lambda Pi Eta, the Beta Rho chapter. Lambda Pi Eta is the National Communication Association's Honor Society. So what is Lambda Pi Eta? Well, the Greek letters behind the name, Lambda Pi Eta, symbolize what Aristotle described as the 3 modes of persuasion: logos for logic, pathos for emotion, and ethos for character, credibility, and ethics. Among the goals of Lambda Pi Eta are to recognize, foster, and reward outstanding scholastic achievement and to stimulate interest in the field of communication. Members of Loyola's Lambda Pi Eta chapter of this National Honor Society are undergraduate students with a 3.25 overall grade point average and a 3.5 average in their communication major, and graduate students with a 3.5 GPA. So we hold our annual induction ceremony for new members in the spring, but we do have 2 new members who are graduating this fall and returning members who will receive their honor cords today. One of the new members, Ethan Roberts, could not be here today, but I would like to call Daniela Waterworth to receive her membership certificate and her pin, as well as her graduation cord. Congratulations. And I'm going to ask Daniela to stay here while we call up the other graduating seniors who are here today to get their graduation cords as well. Anna Krieger and Haley Samples. Congratulations. And I will call Interim Dean Coffman back up to the stage.
Thanks, Lee. Congratulations. Now we're going to have our presentation of graduates. This is the big moment. And to do that for us is our wonderful Assistant Dean, Lauren Sanchez. Thanks, Lauren.
Can everyone hear me okay? It's on? Okay, good. This is the important moment. She set me up, so I'm like, okay, I gotta be ready. One thing I will tell you, besides congratulations, and you've done it, and all of the good things that have been set up here today, is that you are the lucky ones who get to be celebrated twice, right? You come today, you get brunch, you get a little mimosa, and then you get to come back in May, if you choose to, and walk the big stage and wear the regalia. So Lambda Pi Eta, don't forget those cords. We don't have more. Just make sure. Don't email me for more. I don't have them. But I will be in contact with you throughout the next couple of months to let you know, hey, here's when you RSVP. Here's when you order regalia and all those fun logistics that come with a big celebration like Commencement. So I do hope that you come back in May and let us celebrate you one more time. So without further ado, I'm going to announce everyone. If you're comfortable, I'd ask that all of the graduates, as I call your name, if you come up here, because that'll set us up nicely for a picture of the group towards the end. So, Olivia Best, magna cum laude, interdisciplinary honors. Marin Clapper. Colton Claybor. You can clap, go for it. Mackenzie Creedon, summa cum laude. Jessica Dominguez. Aima Etisham. Sally Ezett. Ashley Foster, magna cum laude. Nicholas Galassini. Give him a hand. He may not be here. I always say if they're not here, they're probably studying or writing, right? It's a very important week. Brooklyn Gunterman, cum laude, Lambda Pi Eta. Samuel Halfpenny, Lambda Pi Eta. Nicholas Helge, cum laude. Emily Hild. Anna Krieger, magna cum laude, Lambda Pi Eta, Alpha Sigma Nu. Congrats. Olivia Lawley, cum laude. William Lawley III. Alexander Lyden. Caitlin Lyons. Robert Malkamaki. Kalia Marceau. Morgan McFadden, magna cum laude. Mackenzie Miller, summa cum laude. Stephen Nolasco. Isabella Onder. Cameron Pischke, summa cum laude. Olivia Price. Jacob Ressler. Ethan Roberts, magna cum laude, interdisciplinary honors, Lambda Pi Eta. Haley Samples, cum laude, Lambda Pi Eta. Manuel Cerritos. Gabriela Silverio. Jessica Therian, summa cum laude. Toriana Tadaro. Melanie Villarmarzo. And Daniela Waterworth, cum laude, Lambda Pi Eta. So we'll probably get you in 2 rows here. First off, congratulations. Let's give them one more hand here. And now's your chance to get all the photos you want. So if you guys want to come maybe make 2 little rows here, you might have to do a squat of sorts. But I just want our photographers to give us a thumbs up when they've got what they need.
And we have more photo opportunities too. We've got a photo booth in the back we can do as soon as we finish up here in a second. And to help us think about keeping in touch with all of our friends and keeping the story going, we have Sam Cachila Pisharodi, who's going to give an alumni message for us. She is the Assistant Director of Alumni Engagement. Thanks, Sam.
Well, good morning, everyone. Yes, so my name is Samantha Pisharodi, and I'm the Assistant Director of Alumni Engagement with the Office of Alumni Relations. I am also a proud Loyola alum, School of Social Work class of 2019. So first, I would like to be, I'm sure, one of the many to already, give my congratulations to all the graduates. I'm sure you've heard that a lot. And I'm also sure you're cognizant of how unique your college experience was, and it was anything but traditional. But in light of all of those challenges and obstacles that stood between you today and March 2020, you made it here successfully, and you should be very proud. So while there's been many congratulations, I would like to be the first to welcome you all and welcome you to the alumni community. By successfully navigating your time here at Loyola, you have not only earned a degree from the most fabulous university, but you've also earned a position in a community of over 160,000 alumni. As a member of this community, you have access to many incredible opportunities, including events where you can network with fellow Ramblers. You have access to mentoring and volunteer roles in addition to lifetime career development. And most importantly, you have the ability to call Loyola your home. Walking across the stage is not the end of your Loyola experience. Well, they'll send you your diploma. It's not going to be in that little booklet they give you. But in reality, you are a Rambler for life. So we encourage you to attend our events, access the wide array of resources like I mentioned, and stay up to date with all of the incredible work that this institution is doing and will continue to do. We encourage you to also share your story with us and your fellow alumni. We want to hear about the great things you're doing, and we are excited to share in your success and cannot wait to see how you are going to set the world on fire. So congratulations again on your graduation. Jeez. And welcome to the Loyola University Chicago alumni community.
Thanks, Sam. Well, just to close us up here, my daughter Katie was a December graduate. She had transferred to Loyola. She had dropped out of school for a while and then found herself back here, and graduating, at a time that felt maybe just a little different, a little off. It was December, but I have to say the commencement was wonderful. There was a fabulous speaker. But the speaker of that commencement, I have to say, was not compared to you, Major Schueman. You gave a wonderful talk. It cheers me up to think about it, really. Thank you. Thank you for your service. We have a number of faculty who are veterans. We have some students who are veterans. And so I like to think that today's commencement is an honor of you all. Thank you. Please keep celebrating. We have a photo booth in the back. Keep taking pictures. We'd love to take pictures. We've got this spot. We've got, I don't know, is the mimosas gone? Is the champagne gone? All right. We got some coffee left, though. But please hang around and talk to faculty and friends. And thank you so much. Congratulations.